Okay, so I've been combing through social media and I've seen a lot of videos from Nigerians seemingly thinking that Ghana's election has been so peaceful. Now, and you're actually surprised. The whole thing is Ghanaian elections have virtually almost every time been peaceful, relatively. There are pockets of violence here and there, during the actual process, right? During the actual process. Usually you don't really get to hear of violence. It is aftermath of the elections that sometimes you have, pockets of violence here and there. But the processes that have been put in place is actually so transparent and robust that as a politician, it will be very difficult for you to want to cheat. That's it. So if I want to run through the whole thing, early in the morning, you go to the polling station, you go and cast your vote, right? Now, after you have casted your vote, you, in the evening, after all the pink sheets have been signed prior to elections beginning, then after election, there are certain things you need to fill, right? But when the counting is done at the polling station, you are basically done. So all the polling agents will sign. That is if everything is, agreed to be true. It is moved from the polling station to the collation centers. Now the collation center is not where ballot papers are counted. No, it is the pink sheets that you have written the figures on. So if there are, say, 1,000 polling stations within a specific constituency, right? All those result sheets, that is the pink sheets, right? All those pink sheets are brought to the collation centers and just additions are made. After additions are made, that is for the parliamentary candidates, it is announced at the constituency collation centers. Then the presidency moves from the collation center to the regionals, right? Then when it comes to the regions, for every region, let's say Greater Accra, there are 34 constituencies within the Greater Accra region. So these constituencies are put together. Simple additions. How many? 34. So what did the NDC get? They add. What did the MPP get? They add. So it's simple additions. Then from the regionals, it comes to the national. There are 16 regions in Ghana. It is also the same additions that is done. So it is not anything that is supposed to be worrisome or supposed to create violence. So even for this election, if I'm going back to 2022, right? If I'm going back to 2020, 8 people. Now prior to that in 2016, I don't think anybody died. But in 2020, 8 people actually lost their lives, which is very monumental, very drastic. That somebody wants to become president, so somebody must die. No, it is not something that we are supposed to entertain. You understand? It is not something. Now I know that I'm sweating because I've had to put off, all the fans and all, so that I get a better sound for you all. In this current election, over 120 people have been arrested because of post-election violence. People trying to sneak ballot boxes into collation centers, something that shouldn't be. People were arrested because after they realized that the NPP has lost, some people went into some public facilities to vandalize these facilities. I don't understand why people do this, but people might have their own reasons for doing certain things. And so quite a number of people have been arrested, and I think the police have done a yeoman's job. Anybody that goes to vandalize a public property, it's a criminal, because part of the responsibilities of a citizen of this country is to protect public property, not to vandalize it. Do you understand? So a lot of and some of the MPs who want to win, some of them tried sneaking new ballot boxes into the collation centers. Some of the youths around were able to prevent it. And so even as now, more than a week after election was done, some of the parliamentary seats have not been declared yet, because there are, some violence that is associated with all these things. So it is not as though Ghana's election was that as peaceful as we used to have. It's becoming a bit, a bit more insecure than you used to. Before, like, nobody really cares. Everybody goes to vote. You go to your house, it's counted, and then. But now we have realized that some politicians, these people, if you leave them. Anyways, but relatively, it has been peaceful, and we appreciate the fact that some Nigerians have taken interest in wanting to know more. I'll be giving you a couple of videos on why I think the NPP people actually lost. Thank you very much. I go by the name of Mr. Celebrity. I'm out.